Greetings, everyone. Greetings, beautiful people, truth seekers. Welcome, welcome. Now, I wanna start by jumping straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I wanna jump straight into it. If you have been following my videos, you know what journey we are on. Right? Now, today I wanna start by talking about how because you are the one who's been chosen to awaken to the dysfunction, right? It's pretty much clear that you're the only one who sees the dysfunction, right? You are the only one who sees the dysfunction, right? Because remember, the people around you are still asleep, right? They're still asleep, they're still vibrating low. So to them, they don't see it. So you're the only one who's been chosen to see this, okay? Which makes you look crazy to some level, right? I mean, I guess it explains why if you do try voice out and confront them, most of the time they'll just think that you lost your brains, and they'll even want to take you to a mental institution, right? Thinking that you probably there's something that affected your brain and you are not well, right? Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you're the only one who sees the dysfunction, which makes the whole experience quite bizarre, right? Quite very deep, if you ask me, right? It makes the whole experience quite very deep. So these people, because they are asleep, right? They do not have understanding, right? They don't realize even if they're in a spell, right? They don't realize even if they're in a spell, which is the spell of curses, generational curses, right? So they are basically in darkness, and you are the light. And you are the light because you have been chosen to awaken in such families to maybe, not maybe, to stop these curses, right? Now, what even makes this experience worse is that you are the one who they despise, right? You are the one who they look down on, they oppress, they mock, you know, they triangulate, they do all these things too, right? And when they are together, because they are of one accord, ladies and gentlemen, you're the only one. You are just, it's just you and God in this, right? It's you and God that sees what's happening, because God is the one who allows you to see this so he can free you. Because remember, the words say the truth will set you free. Remember, right? The truth will set you free. So when he awakens you, he's not going to awaken even the people you are living with, ladies and gentlemen, right? Because it's a relationship between you and God. It's not a relationship between you, your family, your brother, your sister, your mother, and God. No, no, no. It doesn't work like that. It's a relationship between you and God. So only you guys, you and God, understand what's happening, right? Now they are of one accord. So the target is on who? On you. You are the main target, right? Because remember now, because the low vibrational energy allows them to be vehicles to entities that use them to come against you, know what's happening. They know who you are, they know what you are here to do, they know your mission in that family, right? This is why this whole experience even gets worse, right? You go through the most deepest of persecutions that you have ever come across, right? While making sure that they keep you beneath them, right? They keep you in a place where you can depend on them, but yet they can um, what you call, they can twist the truth about who you are, right? And mostly that's what that is what they're gonna be doing to you. They're gonna be trying to twist the truth about who you are, smear campaigning, you know. Sometimes you see the main, if it's in a family, the main parent calling the other family members, telling them how you're such a burden, how you're such a problem. Okay. So, like I said, these people do not see that they're living in a dysfunctional family system, which is to which is a path that leads to a pit, right? Which is a path that leads to a pit. So now I wanted to also mention this. The things that they do, the little stuff, because you'll get to realize that these people do not know how to just live genuinely, right? Just to live, right? They there has to be a lie included. There has to be more mocking included. There has to be looking down on included, right? There has to be persecution. There has to be oppression, right? So even the things that they do in their mind, because they do not understand him who sent you, right? In their mind, they're thinking, "Ah, who sees us anyway, right?" Because they do things in a sneaky way, right? They tend to want to punish you in a way that nobody sees, right? It's only them and you who sees these things. And most of the time, they're thinking, as they're putting you in these situations, they're thinking, nah, you can't probably see this, or you can't read the game. But in most cases, you do read the game and you do understand what they're doing, right? Because they are dedicated to looking at you a certain way, right? Looking at you like a fool, right? Being that little slave, right? Now, as they do these things to you, ladies and gentlemen, they're not even thinking the precaution. I mean, they're not even thinking about how this is gonna backfire, right? They're not thinking about it they're not thinking about it in a energetically way. Did I say it right? But you understand what I'm trying to say. English is not my first language. So they're not thinking about it in such a way that all this energy I'm giving out to this guy is gonna come back to me, or I'm dragging myself into a pit by doing this. To them, they're thinking, okay, the worst thing I could do that would maybe take me to hell is murder, stealing and beating somebody up or something. They're just thinking that, right? They don't realize that even these little things, that's where it begins, right? And mind you, not saying they cannot murder somebody and try get away with it, because in most cases, because these people's world has been twisted, they're living in an upside down world, so they can actually do that. They can actually try do murder somebody and think that they can get away with it, right? Now the dysfunction goes deep, ladies and gentlemen. You take a close look at these people, you realize these people are in a very, very, very deep dysfunction, but they don't see it. That is what even makes it dangerous for you, because you're the one who's carrying the whole burden. Like, you're the one who's carrying the curse, right? You're the curse breaker, so you're the one who feels there's energy around them that surrounds them. You are the one who's carrying everything, ladies and gentlemen. Hear me out. And it kills you, because you're the one with an awakened soul. So these entities, they want you in a depressed state. They want you in a state that you are depressed and you are stressed out. Your energy is low. They're trying to dim your light, right? They are trying to dim your light. Hence why you are going such a hard time in these type of families, right? And the same thing applies pretty much everywhere in a workplace, right? your work colleagues finding ways to sabotage you, right? Your bosses not paying you sometimes, because I had to experience that, ladies and gentlemen, where like everybody else gets paid and I'm the only one who's not paid, right? And I got a small kid to buy diapers for and milk and all that. But these people for some reason, they just chose to select me. Okay, let's not pay this one, right? No, these are the type of things that you're gonna be facing. Your experience, ladies and gentlemen, as an awakened soul, it's hectic. Okay, it's very hectic, very painful, and you're gonna have to endure this, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily, God gave you the heart to endure, so your soul is still going to be alive. They're not gonna be able to darken you, right? Because you carry true essence of pure energy. You are pure at heart. You have no intentions of hurting anybody, sabotaging anybody, backstabbing anybody, plotting for anybody. You don't have none of those intentions, right? You have none of intentions of twisting the truth about anybody. But you find that people are out here dedicated to twisting the truth about who you are, right? Making sure that they drag you out, and it's like, to them, they would want you to stay in that position, because so you validate something about how they looked at you, or about the image they wanted to prove about you, right? They pray that you do stay in that position, right? You stay stuck beneath them, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, you find yourself in these type of situations. Just know that you are the chosen one. You are the generational curse breaker, and in most cases, I will tell you that the only way out is to make a way out, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I know sometimes you do not have money, and it's hard. You have no source of income at times. Sometimes you even lost your job, right? Because at the job place they haven't plotting for you and doing these things, right? God will make a way, right? Don't lose faith. Don't give up. Still stick to prayer, right? But find a way. If find a way to get out. Um, find a way to make a little bit of money if you can, right? Whether it's if it's something you're talented at, right? Because even others have found a little bit of money and invested in these trading things, right? They started trading. And if you do decide to invest in trading, don't also give up on that, because it's not easy as well to trade, right? It's something that you would lose. Sometimes you lose, and in most cases you end up giving up, thinking this thing doesn't work for me, right? Learn and understand, right? If there's somebody you can trust, because these situations are meant to break you, you can actually move and go live with those people. Ask them to live with them for some time being, maybe, right? But I'm not trying to derail anybody or make anyone take the wrong path. The best thing you could do is look at your situation, right? Scale the options, ask God to guide you and to show you which way can you take, and he will do that, right? Because it's not sometimes it's not really your time to move. Sometimes God still has like a couple of things to show you in those families or in wherever you are, whether it's in a workplace, right? Because in most cases he's using you to see what are these people doing, but at the same time he's like teaching them and teaching you, right? To understand this whole thing, and to awaken you and to strengthen the relationship between you and him, right? So I didn't want to make this video too long, ladies and gentlemen. I believed maybe you picked out something from this video and something helpful. Stay meditated, stay prayed up, stay safe, keep learning, keep seeking, keep in prayer. Peace.